My name is Bob Sherman, and I'd like to spend just a couple of minutes explaining to you the evolution of my printing process and why it came to be what it is. So I'd like to start off with how I used to do it back in the early days. It's surprising to me that in photography, taking the shot has always been the easiest part for me. Printing the shot has always been the most difficult part. So here's an example of the way I used to do it quite a while ago. This is a print of the Taj Mahal taken before sunrise. It is done on very expensive art paper, and it is framed in a very lovely way. And one of the most expensive parts of this is the glass that's in front of the picture. That glass is something called conservation or museum glass. It is the best glass that you can buy for this purpose, and this piece of glass alone cost at least $200. The problem with this, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, is you can see reflections of lights and perhaps other objects in the room. And I really don't like that as a distraction in my shots. Here is another example. This is an absolutely gorgeous child taken in Rishikesh, India in 2003. And this process was done exactly the same way as the Taj. It's on art paper. It has the same conservation or museum glass in front of it. I don't like the reflections, and I don't like my experience of a separation between me as the observer and the print when I'm looking at it. I wanted to have a more intimate experience with the print. In June of 2015, I did a very large show at a museum called the Customs House. And I wanted to present the prints for this show in a very different way. So for the show, I did these two prints along with many others. Now, when you first look at it, you obviously can see there's no frame. There's also no glass. And so I was getting closer to the kind of experience that I wanted to have when I was viewing the object. However, I didn't like the quality of the paper, and there was still something missing for me, and there was still a little bit too much in the way of reflection that I really didn't like. It took me about another 2.5 years to finally get lucky. These two pictures are exactly the same image. This, incidentally, is taken in a place called Varanasi, India. It is the holiest city of India. These images are exactly the same. This one, again, is on art paper. It has the museum or conservation glass in front of it. And then we have this one. This one is also on art paper. The paper I used here is different than the paper that I used in the show. This paper has a slight texture to it, and I like the texture, and I like the way it renders the image. It is mounted in a floating frame so that there is a 1/4 inch space on all sides. I don't know if you'll be able to see this in the video. There's absolutely no reflection in this image. There is nothing that is separating the image from the viewer. And I really love the way the images pop out. People often think that they are paintings when they first see them. And so I'm very happy with the way the images look now. There's one other really significant difference that I'd like to point out to you about having the prints processed and framed this way. This would be a sacrilege with any print done any other way. There is a coating that has been sprayed on this print that protects it from fingerprints and damage, and also enhances the archival quality of the print. In closing, I just want to very briefly show you a few more examples of some of the images that are being done under the current process. So this actually was taken at 5 o'clock in the morning in Varanasi. Here we have another image. Again, there's no glare. It's just the viewer and the image. Finally, these two images were taken in one of my favorite places on the planet. It's a place called Bandi Amir, Afghanistan. They were taken in 1975. They are playing the national game of Afghanistan that's called Bushkazi. It's played on horseback. There's a goat here. The idea is to get the goat across your goal line. The idea of everybody else is to stop you. When the game is played for real, it takes days to be seen, and the only way you can really see it is on horseback yourself. Again, these images, no glare, nothing separating the viewer from the experience. So, thank you for watching.